Welcome to Bourbon and a Baby. My name is Jay. Max will not be joining us today because, believe it or not, Max is not yet 1 year old, which means he has at least a little over 20 more years until he can legally review bourbon on this channel. Today I'm coming to you from the Renaissance of Tiffin. This is a beautiful 1920s style Prohibition era bourbon bar in Tiffin, Ohio. I want to thank the Renaissance of Tiffin for allowing me to film here. I greatly appreciate it, and for allowing me to review this bottle that they recently got in stock, which is Stagg Jr. Batch 13. This comes in at 128.4 proof, and Stagg Jr. is from Buffalo Trace Distillery, and from their mash bill number 1, which is their low rye mash bill. So some of the other products that come from this same mash bill is their regular Buffalo Trace, Eagle Rare, the Colonel E.H. Taylor line, the George T. Stagg, and Old Charter, a couple others, but Stagg Jr. was kind of considered the little brother of George T. Stagg. George T. Stagg is a limited release yearly part of the BTAC or Buffalo Trace Antique Collection line. And so this is released around twice a year, retails at around $60, and again, comes in at that high proof point. Each batch has a unique proof point. It's coming in barrel proof, so this one, like I said, is 128.4 proof. So let's go ahead and pour it. Now I'm going to be completely honest with you. This is the first time I ever had Stagg Jr. And it was at least a couple of batches ago. I don't know exactly which batch it was, but I was relatively new to bourbon at the time, and it was a little too hot for me. I didn't necessarily dislike it, but I had a hard time with it because it was such a high proof, and so it wasn't something that the first time I tried it that I raved about. So my palate has evolved quite a bit from that time, because that has been a few years now. So I'm excited to kind of dig back into this, because this is one that tends to get really good reviews, and people tend to really gravitate towards. So I'm excited to dig into this. So let's go to the nose. I get some of that alcohol, like I said, 128.4 proof, so this is hot, but I expected it to be a little bit more, so I think that's a good sign. And I get a lot of caramel with this. Yeah, real heavy caramel, maybe caramel with a little bit of brown sugar. This is it's not age stated, but it's believed to be around 8 to 9 years old-ish. So, I should taste and pick up some of those barrel influences here as well. But yeah, like I said, you can get that ethanol, but it's a lot lighter than I would expect it to be at that high proof point. So yeah, mostly just kind of a real thick, heavy caramel, and brown sugar, and then that oak. So let's go ahead and get right into this. Cheers. Woo! Now this definitely tastes a lot hotter than it smells. You can tell that this is barrel proof. That 128.4 proof, I'm feeling every bit of that. It is a little bit of a kick in the face, but that's kind of what it's designed to do. That's kind of always been kind of one of the trademarks of Stagg Jr. is that it does kind of kick you in the face. But having said that, it's not uncomfortable to drink. And once you get past that initial heat, those flavors really start to come through. That caramel really carries over. I do taste kind of that oakiness from the wood. I do taste that brown sugar that I picked up on the nose. But I want to go ahead and get into a second sip here. This is really fun. Really, really, like I said, once you get past that initial kick to the face, this is a really enjoyable pour. I get some like black pepper as well. Get a little bit of rye spice flavors, like baking spices. Not too much. I still think the heavy note is that caramel. But it's got a really, really nice long finish. If you are drinking this in the winter, which it currently is winter and it's pretty cold outside right now, this will definitely be something that will warm you up. This is like really big Kentucky hug. Like I said, would really warm you up on a cold winter night. On that sip, I also picked up just a hint of cinnamon, but still heavy caramel. That's the predominant flavor here for me. Heavy caramel, a little bit of bacon spices, a little bit of cinnamon, and a pretty decent amount of that oakiness coming through, and really, really warm. A lot of warmth, real long finish. Really good experience drinking this. Really, really, really enjoy this. I'm glad because, like I said, the first time I'd ever had Stagg Jr., I was fairly still early in my bourbon journey, and I didn't care for it that much. It was too hot for me. So I think this is actually either I've evolved or this particular batch is just really good. I think probably a little bit of both. Like I said, batch 13, 128.4 proof. Definitely recommend if you're able to come across a bottle. Easier said than done. It's not something that you tend to see on the shelves every day because it tends to go really fast once they come in. So, but if you find it, I would definitely recommend buying it. Unless you're new, if you're just a beginner, you might want to wait until your palate has evolved a little bit. Unless you've had other high proof bourbons in that same range, like a Booker's or an Elijah Craig barrel proof, and you've enjoyed them. If that's the case, definitely get this because you will definitely like this. But if you haven't quite gone that high up in proof yet, I would say maybe wait until you get to a couple other things until you start building up, your palate a little bit. All right, thanks a lot for watching. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked what I had to say here. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. You can follow Max and myself on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. We are at Bourbon and a Baby on all of those platforms. And last but not least, you can buy Bourbon and a Baby merchandise at our shop on Spreadshirt. I will put the link in the description below. Thanks a lot for watching. Cheers. Whew. That is a good, strong pour. Love it.